PS5. LibHijacker can now load games, not run them yet. Astrelsky's LibHijacker is making steady progress into becoming a homebrew loader for the PS5. Zekuksau announced an NBSP today on Twitter that the latest revision of the code can now load games. Although some people have implied this meant PS5 retail games, Astrelsky has clarified that his work only targets homebrew asterisk. There is, of course, still a long way to get PS5 running homebrew, but it now seems to really be in the realm of possibility. What is LibHijacker for the PS5? LibHijacker is a mechanism to run separate processes, homebrew, on the PS5, escaping the initially hacked process, either Webkit or BDJB. This means, among other things, that exiting the original Webkit Bluray player process doesn't close the exploit anymore, so running a game, official or homebrew, while still being in a hacked context is now doable. In other words, this means things such as running a homebrew, modding games at runtime or more, are now a possibility. Think homebrew games, patches, cheats, 60 FPS mods and the like. With its latest evolution, you can think of LibHijacker as the very first homebrew loader, or homebrew enabler, HEN, for the PS5. Astrelsky is demonstrating that even under the constraints of the PS5 hypervisor and with kernel exome still active, a lot of things can be achieved with the exploit we have for firmwares 3. XIGIS 4, XX. PS5, LibHijacker the current status. Astrelsky has been committing changes to LibHijacker's whip branch almost on a daily basis, and pushed today a change that add game app support. The game app support in question lets LibHijacker load an ELF file from a PS5 homebrew or game sent remotely from a computer, prepare it for loading, relocations and the like, then run it with a bare-bones debugger attached to it. Interestingly, there are no actual PS5 games to be tested at the moment. For most people, there are no full-fledged homebrew apps for the PS5 yet. Interesting chicken-egg scenario here of having to build the loader and the homebrew apps in parallel. And as far as retail games are concerned, to my understanding, the only way to dump them at the moment is Slysgovy's PS5 Self-Dumper, a tool that only works on firmware 4.03. Astrelsky has mentioned on Discord that some people are working on a test homebrew. If you're one of the lucky people on firmware 4.03, you can essentially dump your own games to give this a try. At this point, in my opinion, there is no question that homebrew is coming to the PS5. For retail games piracy, however, I'd need to see it to believe it. Although in theory, once decrypted, a game could run through the same loading process as homebrews, I wouldn't be surprised to see more bumps in the road at the moment. In my opinion, as far as I understand it, this tool does not fully emulate the native loading process. Shared library handling, Vespbricks, PS's equivalent of a DLL, is probably going to be at least partially broken. Homebrew can be made with these limitations in mind, but retail game compatibility will vary, as it was with pre-Chen PS4 piracy loaders. Game type app here just means that the system will treat whatever's being launched as a game process, give it screen and gamepad access and that kind of normal game stuff. Nothing more.